Welcome to MMA on the Rocks. My name is Bill Welker. You are listening to Picks and Pours, episode 45. A little delay there because I got stuck reading this message that I can't stream on Twitter anymore because I don't have a premium subscription. So that's the so it's free speech on Twitter as long as you pay for it, I guess. In any case, make sure you subscribe on Facebook or YouTube to catch the show live. Like right now, been away for a couple of weeks. My fault. I was on vacation and I didn't feel like doing a damn thing except drinking bourbon and eat good food. But we got UFC 310 coming up this weekend, so we're going to give you some picks on that. Before we get into that, let me introduce from the frozen tundra of, where is it, Detroit?
Yeah, Auburn Hills.
Matt the mechanic. What's going on, Matt? You look frigid.
Not much. Just ready to get the hell out of here.
Yeah, it looks like it.
I've went through all my winter clothes this week, like all 2 pair of jeans and Origin hoodies.
Is that what you're rocking right now?
Yeah, this is their new one, the light one. I'm unfortunately all down on my light ones. I used all the heavy ones.
Oh, okay. It looks like your beard's grown like a good 3 inches in the last 2 weeks.
I think it's because of my hoodie.
Oh,
it does look pretty long.
It's just pushing it out.
There we go.
Your winter coat is coming in.
Yeah, I'm just hanging out here at the cup chair.
Nice. No heat in that hotel, huh?
There's heat. I just ran out to grab a quick heater and a little cold still.
Did you say you went out to grab a heater?
Burn a heater. Smoke a cigarette, Bill.
Oh, I'm not down with this terminology. I've never been to prison.
I think that's an old one.
All right. Well, I did it, Matt. I did the Bourbon Trail. And it was awesome.
Oh, yeah?
It was one of the coolest trips I've ever been on. And we were only there for 3 days, but in that time we visited 9 distilleries. Didn't do tours at all of them, but popped in, had a little sip at least. Did tastings at a few. And I went into it with some expectations. Like I went to visit some of my favorites that are no longer my favorites. And I went in to visit some smaller ones that I will be supporting a lot more now.
Oh, yeah? So, which ones? You're going to say that for a later time.
Well, I filmed a ton of content, and I'm in the process of editing it all down. So for anyone interested, I know most people are here for the MMA stuff, but I'll be posting separate videos on. I'm going to do a 2-minute tour of each distillery that I visited and the positives and negatives on them. And then I'm going to do like an overall, basically share my itinerary, because it took me a long time to piece together the map of what I wanted to do, because everything's kind of spread out. So I had to plan it out in such a way that I made sure I was moving in a linear direction and never backtracking. So I put all the time into it, so I might as well make some content out of it. But one of the distilleries that impressed me the most was Kentucky Peerless. They're a small family-owned distillery. I've always liked their small batch bourbon. It's amazing. They have 35 employees, and they do everything in-house. So they distill their own stuff. I think they even grow their own yeast. But yeah, real small place. This bottle I got there, it's their toasted bourbon. It's excellent. And I got it signed by the owner who actually came into the tasting. The guy's a 4th generation whiskey maker. He just got inducted to the Whiskey Hall of Fame, actually, Corky Taylor the 4th. So he came in, like, he's just like this old guy, loves talking about whiskey. So he came into the tasting and was telling stories about getting kicked out of military school because Al Gore snitched on him. It's a really cool story. I'll tell the longer version of it sometime. But yeah, Peerless is definitely a distillery that I'm going to be
Did you
supporting a
say
lot more.
Corky?
Yes.
Oh, is that like a given name or that's his name?
I think it's a nickname.
Okay.
Something to do maybe with the cork and the whiskey. I'm not sure. But yeah, and Limestone Branch is another one that I plan to be supporting a lot. They make a Yellowstone bourbon and had an awesome experience at that distillery. So longer versions of all these stories to come. But yeah, those are the two. And then even though I'm wearing an Old Forester shirt, I'll always be an Old Forester fan. I was kind of disappointed that like after you do the tour, they don't have any like whiskey in the gift shop that you can get that like you can only get there, you know? All they had was like the regular stuff that's available everywhere. And I asked, I was like, why don't you guys sell like some of the more rare stuff? Like people are coming right to the distillery. And they said, oh yeah, we do, but we just bring it in randomly. And like you have to check in all the time. And I was like, well, I can't check in all the time. I'm here on vacation. So that was like disappointing. I was hoping to grab like some rare Old Forester after taking the tour, but the tour was nice.
It's just like everything else. All those the secret's out with bourbon and everything's hard to get. I did make a good score up here. I'm pretty excited about it. I picked this up after grabbing food tonight. I got myself
wow.
Yeah.
Rare. Well, you can't buy that. What is it? Boone County, Tennessee, or Lynchburg, Tennessee?
Yeah, where it's made.
Yeah, because it's a dry county.
Yeah, the bourbon situation up here is not good. Everything's super expensive. But the area I'm in, it sucks. It's like I'm staying at like the cheap hotel of the area, and it's called the Kingsley.
Okay.
It wasn't cheap. My breakfast this morning was $27 for 2 eggs, two pieces of bacon, and toast.
Damn.
So I've been like, well, this is where the head of all the automotive manufacturers are. So like all the restaurants are either like, I paid $4 one night for a chili dog, and then I have like hot chicken, because all the other places like are steakhouses that it's $300 a meal. So
damn.
This is not yeah. Well, I mean, it's all CEOs and executives and town cars and. Like the CEO of United Healthcare probably should have been here this week instead of New York.
He might have had some better luck.
Yeah, but yeah, I don't recommend this area. I'd recommend people travel to where you are at. I'd like you to go back there and do it. I've expressed this to you. Do a little more backwoods stuff and not be staying in fancy hotels. Like
I didn't stay. I stayed at a motor lodge.
Well, I mean, so get some Airbnbs and be in the country. That's the beauty of that area, if you ask me.
Yeah, if I could. So Limestone Branch was kind of like out it's in Lebanon, which is like a half hour from Bardstown, and there was nothing around it. I'd like to stay out in that area. I could have spent the whole day at Limestone Branch.
Maybe take the daughter and go up and spend a weekend somewhere in that area and really experience that area, because
yeah,
I'm sure the distillers are cool, but
I'll definitely
a special place.
I'll definitely be going back. Yeah, I got to see the rest of the country. I drove through it. We stopped and stayed at one of the national parks also. And they had like a cave tour you could do that we went on.
Yeah, I think I saw it. Carter Caves, right?
Yeah, Carter Caves.
Did you do any spelunking?
No. I mean, we walked through the cave and it was cool. Saw some bats and stuff, but no spelunking. I mean, the park was beautiful. It was maintained like really well.
Yeah, I went as a Boy Scout trip there when I was a kid, and it was dangerous as hell, but it was fun.
Oh yeah, I'm sure if you're a kid and unsupervised, yeah.
Yeah, looking back, I was like, wow, that was really dumb. But no, everyone lives, so I guess it's fine.
Yeah. Yeah. All right. Let's get into some MMA because I got a jiu-jitsu class to get to. All right. UFC 310, T-Mobile Arena, Las Vegas, Nevada. I have a hot take. You want to lead with it?
Sure.
It pertains to the card. I think there are prelim fights that are better than the main event.
Yeah, there are, and I think that's because I think it has to do with some people you upset the brass at the.
Yeah. Like, all right, Pantoja versus Asakura. Okay, that's an okay fight. That's like a main event of the prelims fight though. Like the rest of these, I'd rather see Ian Gary and Rachmanov headline.
Well, it goes back what you say. It's a champion. It's a championship fight.
Yeah, I know, but I'm just talking about the excitement level for me. Like how excited I am about it, where I would put it on the card. And I know I always make the argument you got to put the title fights, but I mean, look at this. Kennedy and Zechiku is the opening fight. Like, who did he piss off? He's such a nice dude, and he's coming off of a win, a knockout win.
Yeah, I think No Shade can't hold a shit to this card.
Yeah, this is a great card.
It's just missing the star at the top of the tree.
Yeah, pretty much. I mean, they could end the night after Rachmanov and Gary, and it wouldn't make a difference to me. So that's my hot take. So I think if you agree, you gotta crack your little Jack Daniels there.
Well, this is my souvenir, man.
That's a souvenir?
Yeah. Okay. You talk great too.
Drink the thing. I'll buy you 10 more when you come back.
Well, I stopped and got this because last night I got a drink at the bar, and it was $36 for a Jack on the Rocks, single Jack on the Rocks.
Oh my God. Man, I didn't pay that for drinks when I stayed like at the Mandarin in Miami.
As far as I can tell, this type of shit is it's no nicer. The hallways smell like vanilla, but it's like they're just paying people to like paying the price to say keep away from poor people.
Yeah, I guess so. Is it like a nice hotel? It looks like pretty basic.
I mean, it was $315 a night.
Damn.
And it's the cheap one around here. Wow. Oh, I mean, unless you want to go stay at the Motel 6, it's like on 10 Mile Road.
No, I stayed in a Motel 6 once. You don't want to do that.
Yeah. All right, let's talk about the main card.
All right, so Alexandre Pantoja versus Kai Asakura. I know he was the champion in Ryzen, but I don't know. I just can't. I can't get excited for this one. It's his UFC debut. He's going right into a title shot. So he's coming off of back-to-back knockout wins, but before that, he had a loss. And like he fought twice last year. He hasn't fought this year, and now they're putting him right into a title shot. I guess there's nobody else for Pantoja to fight that he hasn't fought 8 times already. But it's like this one is just a head scratcher to me.
Yeah. I think it's just exactly what you said. And plus, I imagine the UFC really wants a Japanese champion. I mean, have they ever had the true Japanese champion?
No. Because, I mean, by the time, like, Takanori Gomi came and fought in the UFC, his career was pretty much done. Yeah, they haven't. So, I don't know. I imagine Pantoja is a favorite, though.
Yeah, minus 258 versus 210.
Okay. Man, I mean, if I were a betting man, I mean, Asakura's got knockout power for that weight class. He's coming off of 2 knockout wins, one of them over Juan Archuleta, who we know is super tough. I mean, he's also been knocked out before. I don't know. Who are you taking?
I'm going to take Pantoja just because I really don't know shit about Asakura. Um, you know, making your UFC debut is one thing, but to make it at a championship fight. So I'm just gonna. I might actually just not bet on this fight and move it somewhere else.
Okay, so we'll table that for now, and then I'll start at the.
Well, I'll take Pantoja, and then if I decide I want to move it, I'll move it.
Fair enough. All right, I'll start at the beginning of the main card. So that'll be Nate the Train Landwehr and Duho Choi. Interesting matchup. Two guys that really like to put on exciting performances. To this day, Duho Choi versus Cub Swanson is one of the best fights I've ever seen. It was just an all-out war. Both of these guys have no quit in them. Both super durable. I'm just looking at the record. Okay, so Landwehr is coming off of that first round knockout over Jamal Emmers. And Duho Choi is coming off of a submission due to punches win over Bill Algeo. But after that, he had a draw and 3 straight losses. So I'm going to say Nate the Train is a slight favorite here, maybe a plus 170. I mean, minus 170.
No, it's closer than that. 130 opposite plus 110.
Okay. Yeah, that's fair. I mean, neither of these guys, of the two of them, Duho Choi has fought more elite competition, but Landwehr's got a little more experience. So, okay. So who are you picking?
At first, I was going to take Landwehr, but because I thought this was Choi's first fight back. But he's actually, because he had that forced military service, but it's actually not. He knocked out Algeo in June. So I'm going to go with Duhu.
Duhu. It sounds like Yoo-hoo.
What's his name, Bill?
It's Duho.
Oh, Duhu. I don't know. That's how we say it up here in Michigan. Duhu.
Yeah, that's how they pronounce it in Michigan. All right. I know who you're picking on this one. Actually, I know you're a Gracie fan.
No, some odds are fucking whacked in this card.
Okay. All right, that's interesting. So Bryce Mitchell and Kron Gracie. I would think Bryce Mitchell is a big favorite here.
Yeah, minus 850 opposite, plus 575.
Yeah, that's about right. I mean, Kron is 36 years old, and the last 2 guys he fought had better wrestling than him, and he couldn't get the fight where he wanted it. Cub Swanson and Charles Jourdain, and Bryce Mitchell definitely has better wrestling than him. So his path to victory is just pulling guard, I guess.
Yeah, I mean, Kron Gracie by subs plus 1,200.
Yeah, I mean, that's the only way he can win. He can't. I don't think he can win a decision against Bryce Mitchell, and I don't think he can stand with him, and I don't think he can take him down. He's got to pull guard or hope that Bryce Mitchell is going to try and prove a point and take him to the ground, which, the guy's a loose cannon. He may do something like that.
His talking point this week is that he's going to choose the path of least resistance.
So he's going to pull out of the fight.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know. Why is this guy on the main card? He's got 7 fights, and he lost 2 of them.
Well, I think it's because it's the guy's opposite who's on kind of a downward trend, and the UFC really wants him. He's a huge crowd favorite.
Yeah, but
they need to get.
Yeah. All right, so he's just there to fluff Bryce Mitchell's nuts.
I don't know. It's weird. This is like a late, short notice fight. I know Bryce, his girl just had a baby. He was just I watched him on a podcast, and he says, "Oh, I don't have any fights scheduled or anything." And then they're like, "Okay, I'm going to Vegas." I know he's been spending a lot of time with Aljo, getting Aljo ready. So
Okay. I saw a video of him where he said he doesn't believe in wearing seatbelts.
yeah, man, he says some crazy shit. I'm really pissed it's this fight week. I don't have my. It's a lie from Satan, brother.
His yeah, well, you should have packed your little keyboard thing.
Do you know what I would have looked like with that thing in that like carry on?
Yeah.
And I'm trying to be low key a little bit too because you know, a little something's legal up here, so try to bring back some souvenirs.
Oh, I gotcha. I get what you're... So his explanation was he doesn't like wearing seatbelts because he doesn't think the government should tell you what to do, which I think is a stretch. Like,
I mean, I think I could disagree with. I agree with his reasoning, but not the thing to stand on.
yeah, like that's not the thing to rebel against.
Like if all the things the government does, I'm going to put my foot down to wear a seatbelt. Like,
He did clarify that he does put a seatbelt on his kid, but he said,
I don't know.
He's like, I don't believe in him. My mother never wore them, so like I don't think I should have to wear. The government shouldn't tell me I need to wear a seatbelt, so I don't wear them.
I don't know what he's driving because I'm up here doing checking out this new car we're launching, and this son of a bitch, it doesn't even let you speed. It won't let you speed.
Really? So what's the point of buying such a powerful car then?
To get really fast to the speed limit. I take that back. It's 10 over. You can go 10 over.
What if you gotta like get away from somebody, or somebody's chasing?
Well, you're going to do it at the speed limit.
Damn.
Yeah, it's kind of crazy, man. It the way the cars are going, but pretty soon they're just going to be driving you to jail.
Yeah,
the cars are going to drive you right to jail.
Yeah,
I mean, I feel bad for any kids because the days of parking and going to the back seat are gone too. I mean, it calls 911 if there's somebody in the back seat and no one in the driver's seat.
Really?
Yeah.
What, like on your phone?
No, on its phone. It's its own phone.
So what if like you're going somewhere and the kids get in the car and you're like still inside getting ready or something, or getting your grocery bags?
You got 15 minutes and the car's going to be honking, and after that 15 minutes, the popo is on the way.
That's interesting.
A really interesting side note is we tested it today, and it does call emergency services, but it doesn't turn on the air conditioning. So the whole point of this is to make you not leave your baby in the back of the car, but you think you could turn on the air. I don't know. That's neither here nor there.
Well, it would have to start the car then, right?
No, it's an electric car.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I mean, did you mention that?
Bill,
maybe nobody thought of it.
I'm way down. I'm way down on the totem pole. It's more like keep your mouth shut.
I mean, they got you staying at the Kingsley.
Oh no, I did that myself. I'll give that bill to my boss when I get back.
Oh, okay. So you just got a front, but they still pay you back.
Yeah, they pay me back, but not the guys at the manufacturer. They don't have nothing to do with that.
Oh, okay. All right.
Yeah, so I screwed up. I walked into this electric car class with a shirt on that said, life's too short to wear drive electric cars. So that was I was like, ooh, I better
put on your Origin hoodie then.
Yeah. Oh, so by the way, I'm taking Bryce Mitchell, even though it can't make money really.
Yeah, I mean, outside of a fluke, I don't see how Kron wins this fight.
You know what, Bryce, if he sees this, I'm sorry, but I'm going to take Kron by sub. But what the hell?
Yeah, what is it, plus 1,200?
Yeah.
I mean, shit, it could happen. He could dive for a heel hook or something. But I mean, I doubt it. But I don't mind the bet. All right, Cyril Gane versus Alexander Volkov. This is another one that, it probably would have excited me 3 years ago.
Well, it probably
But
did because
Volkov on a
it happened
4-fight win
before.
streak, huh?
It happened before. This fight's happened.
Oh yeah, yeah. Gon won a unanimous decision, 5-round unanimous decision. So now they're gonna do it over a 3-round fight. I'm even less excited about it now.
Well, but if you remember, he won the decision, but it was kind of contested.
Okay, so is Volkov the favorite then?
No, that's where I think it's weird. Is the fight was very close, and now we have Volkov at plus 295, opposite Gon at minus 375,
Oh
and
shit.
Volkov's been on this big tear. Well, Gon's been making like French Netflix movies.
Yeah. So you going Volkov?
Of course. You know what? I'm going to take my dollar from that first fight and I'm going to double up on that one.
So you're not going to bet on the main event then? You're going to put double your money on Volkov?
Yeah.
And what do you get better odds by decision?
It's going to take a bit.
Because I think that's how he does it.
Almost there. Plus 450. So I'm not going to take that. I'm going to just stay where I'm at.
Okay. All right. Yeah, fair enough. All right. Co-main event, Shavkat Rakhmonov against Ian Gary. Rakhmonov 18-0, Ian Gary 15-0. Was this supposed to be for an interim title at some point?
No, this is supposed to be Rakhmonov versus Bilal.
All right. Okay. But then
that was supposed to be the main event, the better main event on this card.
Yeah, that would have been a much better main event. So, Gary's coming off of look, they fought some of the same guys and Rakhmonov has done better. Ian Gary won a split decision against Jeff Neal, whereas Rakhmonov finished him. With a standing rear naked choke. Gary won a decision over Neil Magny. Rakhmonov submitted him. I would think if this goes to the ground, Rakhmonov's got to have a huge advantage here.
Yeah.
And he's probably a slight favorite, even though they're both undefeated. I would guess minus 135.
No, Shavkat's a minus 375, opposite plus 295.
I got some of the numbers right.
Yeah.
I got the 3 and the 5 correct.
Yeah. It's big. It's big, way bigger odds than I expected to.
Yeah. I mean, shit. Anything can happen. Ian Gary has not been finishing anybody since he stepped up in competition. I mean, he had that nice head kick knockout over Daniel Rodriguez, but Neil Magny, Jeff Neal, Michael Venom Page, all decision wins. The Jeff Neal fight was pretty close too. But it's your call. Who are you going with?
I think Shavkat had like the perfect lead up to this fight with Wonderboy. Like that Ian Gary and Wonderboy fight. I guess I should say Wonderboy or Gary fights like Wonderboy does. I think this is going to be a pretty boring fight. But I'm going to take Ian Gary because he just seems to prove everyone wrong. Like he takes all the hate and just performs.
Yeah, I mean, that's fair. That's fair because on paper, Rakhmonov should win. I mean, he's more well-rounded. He's got more finishes, but that's a good point. There's something about like that fuck you from the universe energy that's very real.
Like I hate like the videos of him. Like I can't stand that guy, but I like him because he just doesn't give a fuck. Like
yeah, and there's so many people rooting against him just because he's obnoxious. Like that, all that energy is just probably going to fuel a win for him.
And he's obnoxious, but then when you watch what he's doing, he's just training and like being a good dad to his kid. Like,
yeah,
he's always got his kid with him. Does all his interviews with his kid. I don't know. I guess the world needs a little less hate, so I will stop my hate for Eden Gary.
All right, fair enough. Let's talk about this undercard. This is one of the best prelim cards in a long time. And I'm going to say there's 5 fights here that could be on the main card over like some other fights, including the main event. So I'll start with the main event of the prelims, Dominic Reyes, Anthony Smith. That's a great fight.
Yeah, that's a main event on a fight night all day.
Yeah, I love that fight. That fight could definitely be on a main card. I like that fight better than the main event, so that's one. Vicente Luque, who's kind of been on a downward spiral lately, and Themba Gorimbo, who is just he's just a monster, and he's continuing to get better. He's on a 4-fight win streak. Just beat Nico Price. I think that's going to be an interesting one, and I imagine he's a big underdog in this fight, but man, I think it's going to be close.
Vicente Luque is a big underdog. He's plus 130, so not really.
Oh, wow. I would have thought Gorimbo would be the underdog. Okay.
I just hope that Luque was not specifically preparing for the level of competition Nick Diaz was going to bring to the table, because this is a huge different fight.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, come on. We all knew that wasn't going to happen.
I don't know.
Like, why? No. Why would Nick Diaz fight somebody like Vicente Luque? There's no heat between them. It's not like, if he's going to fight, it needs to be like Cowboy Cerrone would make sense since he's coming back. Like something like that. Like a fight that doesn't matter for contention in any division and is just like for the fans.
Tony Ferguson.
Yeah, well.
Yeah, the only heat off that fight was the heat coming off that grass. He's burning.
Yeah, pretty much. All right. I got about 7 minutes here. So what you were talking about earlier, people who piss off the brass, I'm assuming you were talking about Aljamain Sterling, because here's a guy, lost his world championship, moves up a weight division, dominates his next fight, and then gets put on the prelims against an undefeated like grapple monster and Movsar Evloev.
And not just put on the prelims, moved off the main card like 2 weeks ago.
Really?
Yeah.
So they're just trying to get in his head, huh?
Mm-hmm.
And they're
the
just
odds on that fight are plus 185. Aljo Evlov minus 225.
Damn. Yeah, I mean, yeah, I mean, it's a shitty situation. And then if you go further down the prelims, you see the former champion Chris Weidman in a catchweight fight. I mean, damn, Chris Weidman on the prelims is wild. Like they weren't even doing this to Tony Ferguson when he was on his 8-fight losing streak or whatever. And he was never even a champion. Chris Weidman, former champion, now like bumped all the way down to the prelims. Like they can't make it any more obvious that they don't want him fighting anymore.
I don't know if I'd say that. Remember, it's a catch weight because they've both already made weight for this fight. I think it's just the way it. I still really think Weidman was planning on retiring at Madison Square Garden.
That would have been nice. But now it's going to be at the T-Mobile Arena in front of, 57 people that are there for the prelim. I mean, it's going to be more than that, but my concern is that he wins and wants to keep going.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know. There's nothing else for him to prove. So it's crazy. Obviously, there's not a lot of higher up positivity for the Longo Weidman fighters. We've seen this in the past, guys who have butted heads with Dana or with other people high up in the organization, and they got themselves to championships, and then once they lost them, that's it. They were kind of kicked to the curb. But in any case, Randy Brown and Brian Battle is an awesome fight. But yeah, that's an interesting one because these guys are both kind of on a hot streak right now. Randy Brown won 3 in a row. And Brian Battle, well, he had that no contest against Ange Lusa when he poked him in the eye by accident after he was beating the fuck out of him. But if you don't count that, he's also on a 3-fight win streak. That's a really fun fight.
And you got an even money fight in Michael Chiesa and Max Griffin.
Michael Chiesa?
Yes, whatever, Bill. You know what I meant. I'm speaking of the Detroit accent.
Detroitian accent. This is another one. Chiesa is a surprise because he works for the company as an analyst now. He's coming off a win over Tony Ferguson, and they're like, yeah, prelims.
No, they just got to get him to get his ass after the fight onto the table. That's what he's got to do.
He's got a tough fight though. I mean, Max Griffin is a tough dude. Good striker. Kind of hot and cold throughout his career, but
hey, what do you think about the Hooper Guida fight? Chase Hooper's a minus 1100 to plus 700.
Is he really?
Yeah.
That makes sense because Guida's hard to submit. Chase Hooper's really good off his back, but Clay Guida is hard to submit. He's hard to finish. He's just in your face the whole time, and he could probably bully Chase Hooper, even though he's twice his age. The odds that's a wide spread.
Yeah.
I would probably throw a couple of bucks on Chase Hooper just because, but
no, he's minus 1100. Guida's plus 700.
Oh, okay. Oh, well, then I would definitely put money on Clay Guida.
Yeah, I won't double up on Volkov. I'll do one on Guida. Hey, I know you got to go. So did you see that they announced the next pay-per-view?
No.
311, Islam versus Arman and Merab versus Umar.
Oh, yeah, I did see that. And where is that one going to
be? January 18th in Anaheim, which is right in their neck of the woods. And then just the only other thing I typed down is there's a funny video of Jamal ran up to Piera at the PI today, and he was like, yeah, let's fight for free. Let's fight. And I think he was acting all tough, and Alex was okay and started taking his gloves off, and he changed his tune real quick after that. He's like, okay.
Is that what happened? I saw that video, but I saw it without sound.
Yeah, like once he realized Alex was like, oh, all right, we can do this, and he definitely changed his mind.
Oh, I didn't realize that was going on. I thought he was just telling him to fuck off.
No, he said, okay, we can do this. We got enough people here to make sure it's fair. But, he
wanted to go bare knuckle, huh?
Yeah.
Man, that would have been pretty cool.
Yeah, but what Dave Mundell, what's he always say? I don't fight for free.
Yeah. Yeah, that's the smart thing.
Maybe a jiu-jitsu match, that'd been cool.
Pereira doesn't give a fuck, man.
Yeah.
I mean, he's made so much money now, and he fought for fucking dog food and glory, so.
Did you see his video of him sparring in Korea? Just beating, these guys are just fighting like hell.
Yeah, I've seen a bunch of stuff with him. He's just all over the place. He's everywhere. He's omnipresent.
Yeah, just like us. We're all over the place. He's in Korea. You're in Kentucky. I'm in fucking Detroit.
Yeah, he should have stepped up to headline this card and save it.
He probably wanted to. He just couldn't find anybody to fight him.
Yeah. Yeah. John Jones.
Yeah, maybe 2028.
Yeah. All right. You got anything else you want to get off your chest?
Nope.
All right. We'll call it there. UFC 310, T-Mobile Arena, Las Vegas, Nevada. Make sure you guys are subscribed on YouTube. I've already edited a bunch of these Bourbon Trail videos. So if you're interested in those, they're mostly going to be going on YouTube. Maybe I'll put them on the Facebook page too. I always neglect that. But that's it. So until next time, cheers, everybody. Goodbye.